Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Time for another Maricopa County ballot audit update. The auditors had been off for about 9 days because they had to temporarily leave the arena where they're doing the auditing because of some high school graduation exercises that had been scheduled to take place during that time. Now the exercises are over. The high school students have hopefully gone on to productive lives, I hope. With today's education system, I can't be 100% sure, but that's my hope and my prayer. The auditors are back, however, they're auditing again, but there have been some developments. The same thing as before. As I've said, the Maricopa County election officials must really be afraid of something because, again, they keep throwing up these roadblocks. That's basically what this audit update today will be. Two roadblocks, two bogus roadblocks that they put up. They are trying to discredit this audit, to stop it, discredit it before it's even been finished, stop it in its tracks. If they had nothing to be afraid of, as I've said in the past, the obvious course to take would be to let the audit just run its course, and then they could attack the results and show these auditors, the cyber ninjas, that's the name of the company, the auditors, just show them up, just show all the flaws, require them or demand that they produce the evidence of what they did to back up their report. They're not going to, this is an important point, they're not going to just issue a report, they're going to testify before the Arizona Senate. Presumably officials from the Maricopa County Board election officials would be invited to come and participate. They could testify too. They will be able to rebut everything. My prediction is that, as happened before when they held a meeting to which I'm going to refer, or a hearing, they didn't show up. They just said, well, this is bogus. We won't dignify it by showing up, words to that effect. But once this report is out there, well, it's going to be out there. And you have to keep in mind that these people conducting the audit, they keep saying, well, they never audited an election before. Well, I guess we shouldn't go to Mars because we don't have anybody who's ever gone to Mars before. So you can see how silly that argument is. What you need is experience, a track record in forensic auditing. And then what a forensic auditor will do is, every situation is different. They'll just, I showed it in an earlier vlog. I'll try to dig it up, but they published their procedures. The officials at Maricopa County, they're perfectly free to question the process that has been put in place, but they don't. They don't point to the documents and show what was wrong. And of course, they always had the opportunity in the beginning to work with the Arizona Senate to devise a methodology that would have satisfied everybody. One obvious thing they could have done is just let the auditing be done at their own tabulation center where the ballots were counted in the first place. They would not have had to move the ballot. That's one of the complaints they're making. They're claiming there were disruptions in the chain of custody, transferring the ballots from where they were stored to the arena. They could have kept the ballots where they were. They could have worked together to make sure that the audit went as they are saying it didn't go, but it's pretty clear it did. There are video cameras on everything, and I just learned a new fact. I mentioned before, there are 9 video cameras that are kept on all the time showing the audit floor, the arena. You can see everybody working. You can see what everybody is doing, but I just learned that there were additional cameras. If you look very carefully, you'll see there are overhead cameras over each table shooting down at the table to record if anything is wrong, if there are any shenanigans, anything suspicious. The point being that Maricopa County, the officials, they will have plenty of videotape to buttress whatever they're saying, or conversely, the auditors will have plenty of videotape show them that they're wrong, to counter-argue against whatever, I'm getting old, to rebut whatever the officials say, which is what has been happening so far, because it's mainly the Secretary of State, the very partisan, obviously, Secretary of State, Arizona Katie Hobbs, who keeps making these accusations that are very quickly refuted and just make them, it's funny, it's ironic because some of those officials are saying, and I think it may be Hobbs herself also saying, that the auditors, Arizona Senate, are turning Arizona into a laughingstock. No, no, no. It's these election officials that are turning themselves into a laughingstock by throwing up all these stupid arguments that quickly get shut down. So what I'm going to do today in today's update is just give you a couple examples, recent examples. The first one, there was a controversy about deleted files. The auditors said that there was a whole file, a whole database, a whole drive that was deleted, a D drive that was deleted, but they were able to recover it. The officials, the election officials say, no, we didn't delete anything. You just weren't looking in the right place, and now you say you were able to recover the files. Well, yeah, because you're idiots and you just didn't know where to look in the first place, and now you know where to look. Well, that's false. That is totally false. So what I'm going to do first is read a letter to you. I'm actually going to read the first page of a letter from Maricopa County Attorney Allister Adel, I'm going to go with, could be Adel, I'm going to go with Adel, just forgive me if I mispronounce it, but to the President Karen Fann of the Arizona Senate. It's regarding litigation, hold, and preservation notice. And again, this is just the first page of the letter. I'm going to link to the whole letter if you want to read the whole thing. This is the relevant part. Dear Senate President Fann, our office represents Maricopa County, the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, the Office of the Maricopa County Recorder, Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer in his official capacity, and county employees. Forgive me if I mispronounce Richer. Maybe it's Riker, but I think it's Richer. I'm just going to go with that. Your May 13, 2021 letter to the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors Chairman Jack Sellers, which was published widely, falsely claimed, quote, we have falsely, he says, falsely claimed, quote, we have recently discovered that the entire, quote, database, unquote, directory from the D drive of the machine, quote, EMS primary, unquote, has been deleted. This removes election-related details that appear to have been covered by the subpoena. This suggests that the main database for all election-related data for the November 2020 general election has been removed, unquote. Soon after, the Senate Audit's Twitter account posted, quote, breaking update, Maricopa County deleted a directory full of election databases from the 2020 election databases from the 2020 election cycle days before the election equipment was delivered to the audit. This is spoliation of evidence, unquote. That means spoiling the evidence, destroying the evidence, so it can't be examined. On May 17, 2021, representatives, this would be U.S. representatives, not Arizona representatives, Representatives Matt Gaetz, Andy Biggs, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Paul Gosar sent a letter to the Department of Justice asserting this false, again that word, false claim that, quote, an entire, quote, database, interior, quote, database, and interior, quote, director of election information was deleted from the election management system primary machine. The apparent deliberate deletion of the election management system prior to the information being transferred to the independent auditors runs afoul of Arizona election law, unquote. The representative's false claim relied solely on these false statements. Our clients, notice how it's underlined, our clients delivered the server exactly as it was kept by the Maricopa County Elections Department. Nothing was deleted or added from the server when we prepared it to be sent to the Senate pursuant to the Senate's subpoena. I'm going to show you a video that addresses that last statement in more detail, actual video from the testimony that the election officials boycotted before the Arizona Senate. But first, from the person who testified, Ben Cotton of Cypher, that's the Cyber Ninjas. Here's a statement, I'll put it right up here. Statement from Ben Cotton of Cipher. My testimony on May 19th before the Arizona Senate is being taken out of context by some media outlets to confirm the, quote, databases, unquote, directory on the EMS primary server was deleted containing the voting databases. I was able to recover the deleted databases through forensic data recovery processes. We are performing data continuity checks to ensure that the recovered databases are usable. In other words, he's just reaffirming that the database, the directory, whatever you want to call it, was deleted. It was not misplaced. He didn't just suddenly find it after having looked in the wrong place. They had to perform a forensic analysis on the drive to retrieve that data. This has happened before. People have to understand that when you delete something on your hard drive on your computer, it doesn't remove the data that is there. What it does is it allows that data to be overwritten. It takes off the block from the preventing data from being overwritten, and then when you record new stuff, it can be recorded over the old stuff, and even then there may be a way to go back a generation or more. Remember the Hillary Clinton email flap, and remember there was some drive on some server and they took the drive out and physically destroyed it with hammers. They hammered the crap out of it to destroy it because that's the only way to prevent the data from being retrieved. In fact, I just remembered, if you go back, and this was probably before a lot of you were born, this was the early 1990s, but the whole Whitewater scandal, the Senate was investigating Bill Clinton. I won't go into the details, they're not relevant right now. What's relevant is that one person who was called as a witness, she had deleted something on a computer drive, and Richard Benveniste, an attorney for the Democrats, told her, well, you think that you deleted something from your drive, but no, you didn't. There are ways to recover it, and then he showed some of the data. So that's all that Ben Cotton is saying. So now I'm going to show you a video from a news report where you can see and hear Ben Cotton for yourself in more detail.
The Maricopa County audit continues today. This as the forensic audit team is speaking out against a barrage of mainstream media reports which reported that the database's directory was never deleted. Ben Cotton, who is the founder of Cipher, a national-level forensic company which has worked in both the private and government sectors, made a statement via the Arizona Audit's Twitter page saying, "My testimony on May 19th before the Arizona Senate is being taken out of context by some media outlets. To confirm," he said, "the database's directory on the EMS primary server containing the voting databases was deleted. I was able to recover the deleted databases through forensic data recovery processes. We are performing data continuity checks to ensure that the recovered databases are usable." So, according to Cotton, the D drive of the EMS primary server was in fact deleted. However, because of his extensive experience in the forensic field, he was able to recover the deleted files, which is exactly what he said at the Arizona State Senate hearing on the 19th.
In the course of your analysis of the EMS server, did you determine that the D database directory had been deleted?
I did, and if I could add a little bit of color behind that. So we follow a very strict forensics acquisition process. In the course of performing that MFT discovery, I discovered a MFT that clearly indicated that the database directory was deleted from that server. So all of this, however, may be a moot point because subsequently I've been able to recover all of those deleted files and I have access to that data.
However, because of the misinterpretation of Mr. Cotton's statements by numerous media outlets and the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors, an attorney for the board sent a letter to the Arizona State Senate threatening to sue over what they call false claims about the deleted directory. In addition, the letter directed the Senate and the forensic auditors to preserve any records related to the audit, including emails, text messages, computer files, cell phones, and other devices.
Welcome back. That was Maricopa County ballot update number 1. Now on to update number 2. Again, another bogus roadblock. Here's the headline: Arizona Secretary of State slams, quote, highly partisan, unquote, quote, fringe, unquote, election audit. Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, Democrat, is raising new concerns about the way auditors hired by the Republican-controlled state Senate have handled more than 2.1 million ballots from the 2020 elections that sat for more than a week in hot and humid trailers waiting to be counted. The auditors, overseen by a Florida firm, that would be the Cyber Ninjas, that has no experience auditing elections, earlier this month left ballots cast in November in Maricopa County in a trailer outside Phoenix Memorial Coliseum, a few blocks away from the state capitol, after their count took longer than expected. Temperatures neared 100 degrees in Phoenix last week as auditors paused the count to allow previously scheduled high school graduation ceremonies to take place in the building. Quote, where the ballots were being stored, it was not a facility that was suitable for storage because everything was exposed to heat and also humidity because of the method of cooling in the building, unquote, Hobbs said in an interview Monday as auditors resumed their process. Randy Poland, here's the rebuttal, here it comes. It's so simple. Randy Poland, a former chairman of the Arizona Republican Party who is handling media requests for the audit team, said storing ballots in trailers had been the team's plan from the beginning. Quote, the reason we had them in the trailers, here comes the rebuttal, so simple and obvious. Quote, the reason we had them in the trailers was because they had really good air conditioning in there, unquote, Poland said. Quote, it's a water-cooled air conditioning, so that puts a little more humidity in the air than normal, but it wasn't a lot of humidity. We were checking it, unquote. And again, as you can see in this screenshot, there was a camera on the trailer all the time. But you can see how silly this, well, at least the Secretary of State looks. She's saying that the room was very hot, never thought to ask about the trailers. I mean, my father had a fruit market, or you go to any supermarket and you see refrigerated trailers, perishable goods, frozen goods are delivered in air-conditioned or even refrigerated trailers. So you see how bogus the arguments are, but more important, you can see how they keep putting these arguments up and they just end up looking silly because they're so easily batted down. And again, why not wait for the audit to conclude? And then if these ballots were damaged because of the way they were stored, well, you can say produce the ballots, and when the ballots are produced, then they can show how they were destroyed. Personally, I don't see how storing something, even if it hadn't been refrigerated, plain paper, what would they expect, that the ink was going to run or something? So, but the point is, it wasn't. It was refrigerated. And another falsehood in that article, that they had to store them off site for a while because the audit took longer than expected. No, they said it would take 60 days. They said it would go into June. They knew about the upcoming interruption for these graduation exercises, and they planned for it. They put these trailers in place, air-conditioned trailers in place, which brings me now to the final headline that I want to get to today in this update. And here's the headline because it's an interesting question. What if the unorthodox Arizona audit declares Trump won? So I'm linking to the article so you can read the whole thing, but basically it just does what the Secretary of State of Arizona is doing. They're just trying to discredit this whole audit. Again, this idea, well, they have no experience or whatever. You have to understand that they're going to issue a report. They know they're going to be challenged. You have to keep in mind that they are forensic auditors. That means they have done audits in the past. They do them for court cases, for lawsuits, whatever, and also for various governments. They know that there's going to be an attorney on the other side that's going to try to attack their results. They know that they're going to, maybe not every case, I'm not 100% familiar, but I'm sure in many cases, somebody from the cyber ninjas would be called to testify as an expert witness and be challenged on the stand by opposing attorneys or attorneys for the opposing side. So this is no different, whether it's in a court case, and that would be another question I would ask. If this audit turns out to be so bogus, then the county officials could take them to court, I would imagine, and sue them. Whatever. The point is that they will be testifying at some point, and I see no reason why. Well, you have to remember, you have to keep in mind, Republicans are the majority in the Arizona Senate, which is why this audit is able to happen in the first place, but they don't occupy the entire Arizona Senate. There are Democrats, just like you see in the National Senate. When you have hearings, you have Democrats and you have Republicans, and each side gets asked questions. So Democrats will be able to attack the results too. And my question again is, why not wait for the results? But my other question is, what if, this is the question nobody's asking, what if the Arizona audit declares Trump won and the results are challenged and the results hold up? What if it is proven definitively that Trump won Maricopa County and therefore won Arizona? Then what? Nobody, I haven't seen that question asked. I don't want to make this too long well, I'll very quickly speculate what would happen. You're going to see calls for audits in other states. There's one in Georgia coming up. There's one in New Hampshire, but you'll get calls for other ones, and I don't know how you argue against it if these results show that Trump won Maricopa County and if the results hold up. Now, if it shows the opposite, then the matter will end right there, because without Arizona, there wouldn't be enough electoral votes from other states to, well, you could still want to go through with an audit in order to make your next election more secure, to learn something from it. But as far as the election, it wouldn't affect it, except to change people's minds, perhaps. But the point that I'm driving at is nobody wants to consider the possibility that this could be right, and I think people, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, as I've said in the past, I'm a wait for the facts, wait for the results kind of guy. I'm not prejudging the results. It may show that Trump, in fact, lost. It could show that there was a lot of fraud, but not enough to change the election. It could show a lot of things. All I'm talking about now, all I'm doing is giving you updates on what's happening so far and stating my opinion that the Maricopa County election officials must really be scared, just based on their behavior. And that's it. I hope, based on my behavior today and in other vlogs, that you'll give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? Comment section below the video where you can put questions, suggestions for future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You could visit my other channels, my hot dog channel, hot dog recipes, great hot dog recipes, my music channel, and then just come, well, you know, I say it in every video that I really appreciate the time you spend with me, and I still appreciate it. Nothing has changed from the other videos where I've appreciated your spending some time with me. I appreciate it so much that I really want to see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again, and until I do see all of you again, bye.